There's a giant breakup that is drawing the attention of America between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump. What do you make of what we're seeing so far with this?
How many times has he broken up with how many people, and they always get back together? That's I saw the interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she she gave an apology for her toxic behavior, which made me think this is more than just the usual nonsense that we see out of MAGA.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism, and I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country, and it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions, and I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another, and we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have differences.
Yeah. But, then again, how many times has he broken up with Bannon and brought him back to the fold? How many times has he, and he's notorious for bringing people back into the fold that have often dissed him or said he's hateful, including his vice president, J.D. Vance. So I guess you have to take it with a grain of salt. But that extended interview does make me believe that there's something else to this. I don't know what the agenda is. I don't believe it's just straight up, I'm sorry, but that's me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think there's something to that because, I think a lot of people in news media are rightly kind of pointing out that Trump is getting some pushback from MAGA that we haven't really seen in his second term. Particularly, we saw in states like Indiana and Kansas kind of ignoring him on redistricting, and now Marjorie Taylor Greene. And kind of the belief is that the defeat in the election and his dropping polling numbers are indicating to a lot of Trump supporters that they need to start thinking about a Republican Party post-Trump. What do you make of that? Do you think that's kind of spot on in what you're seeing as well? Or do you think that's too much like liberal wish casting?
No, I think I don't know if it probably is wishful thinking on the part of the Democrats, because how many times have they said, he's over, Donnie is over, this one's going to kill him. And he's like, a New York sewer rat. He just survives. So there is part of that. But Thomas Massie, the representative from Kentucky, said, listen, there will be a point in time where Donald Trump is no longer around, but that vote for pedophiles that you have given will live forever. And so that's pretty telling in and of itself. But you have to remember the reason why MAGA is upset with him. And this comes from Marjorie Taylor Greene. This comes from Boebert. This comes from everyone in that MAGA inner sphere. Donald Trump, on the campaign trail, said he will release the Epstein files because they believe there is a deep state, and that Donald Trump said he was going to expose the deep state. Donald Trump is, of course, part of the deep state, but that's a different story. So he has not lived up to that particular promise. And all the conspiracy-minded people and all the people who voted for him specifically for that reason are upset with him now. And they will continue to be upset with him. And him changing his tune, this is as we record a Monday, and on Sunday night, he changed his rhetoric and said, yes, go ahead and release the Epstein files. Well, that's because there are people who want him to release the Epstein files. He can read the tea leaves. But don't forget, people, this doesn't mean that the Epstein files are going to be released, because once this is passed, it's still got to go to the Senate and pass, and it'll never get picked. This bill will never be picked up in the Senate. And if it is, and if it's passed, and it's essentially the same bill, and it doesn't have to go through reconciliation with the House, and it ends up on where does it? Oh, yeah, it would end up on the president's desk. So what are the chances of him vetoing it? I'd say, get your betting app out, and you've got a 90-10 chance he's going to, for whatever reason, decide to veto this bill, and you won't get 2/3 in either the House or the Senate to override the veto. So it's much ado about nothing as far as that goes. But as far as the MAGA people go, yes, this is a break. This is a difference. This is a change, a game changer.